Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today's video is one that's going to hit home for lots of people. We're talking about the UK job market, and let's be honest, it's rough out there. Whether you're a recent graduate, someone looking to change careers, or even just trying to re-enter the workforce after a break, chances are you have felt it. That sinking feeling of applying for dozens, maybe even hundreds of jobs and hearing absolutely nothing back. Or worse, just rejection after rejection. In today's video, we're going to unpack what's really going on in the UK job market in 2025, why it's so hard to land a decent job, which sectors are struggling most, and some realistic strategies to help you stand out in a sea of competition. We're also going to be talking about the emotional toll, the burnout, the imposter syndrome, the constant feeling that you're falling behind. Because if you're going through this right now, let me just say you're not alone, and it's not just you. Let's start with a bit of a reality check. The UK job market right now, it's one of the toughest we've seen it for years. And no, that's not just media hype, there are numbers to back this up. In many industries, practically at the entry level, we're seeing upwards of 40 to 50 applicants per single job opening. If you're applying for something in a competitive field like marketing, media, finance, or even tech, you might be competing with hundreds of others. You'd think with the tech industry booming and remote work expanding, there'd be more opportunities, but instead, companies are getting leaner, automating more, and becoming incredibly picky with who they hire. Plus, you've got to consider the experience trap. You know, the one where entry level jobs somehow ask for 2 to 3 years of experience in a similar role. Let's not even get started on unpaid internships or the 0 hour contracts that leave you living paycheck to paycheck. It's not just a job crisis, it's a quality of life crisis. People aren't just struggling to get jobs, they're struggling to get jobs that pay enough to actually live. So now that we know how tough the market is overall, let's talk about who's being hit the hardest. Because the truth is, it's not affecting everyone equally. Some groups are really feeling the weight of all the instability, and in lots of cases, it's people who were already at a disadvantage even before the market got so tight. Let's start with graduates, especially those fresh out of university. So, you've spent years studying, maybe you've taken on student debt, or most likely you've taken on student debt, and now you're competing for an entry level job that asks for years of experience or offers salaries that you just can't live on. More and more graduates are ending up in unrelated roles like retail, hospitality, or unpaid work, unpaid internships, because they just can't get the foot in the door in their chosen field. Then there's the age factor. If you're over 45, you may be facing a whole different challenge: age bias. Employers might assume you're too expensive, not tech savvy enough, or too senior for junior roles you're willing to take. Many older professionals find themselves being passed over, not just because they lack the skills, but because hiring managers assume they won't fit the culture or will be willing to adapt. It's frustrating, and honestly, it's a waste of talent. The bottom line is the job market isn't just tough, it's unequal. And while resilience is important, we also need to recognize the systematic barriers that make up the playing fields and make them anything but level. So if you're struggling right now, please know it's not because you're not trying hard enough. The system is broken in a lot of different ways, and it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Let's talk about something that's getting harder to ignore in every job sector: AI, artificial intelligence. It's moving fast and it's advancing fast. And while some of it is incredibly cool, like self driving buses or AI generated art, there's a growing fear that AI isn't just changing jobs, it's replacing them. In the UK, we're already seeing AI used to automate admin tasks, customer service roles, content writing, and even some legal and medical functions. A reporter from the PwC estimated that up to 30% of jobs could be at risk of automation by the mid 2030s. That's a huge number. And here's the thing: it's not just the manual or repetitive jobs. AI is now capable of doing creative work too: writing, marketing, copying, draft report, editing videos, even designing basic graphics. These used to be safe, creative jobs, but now you're competing with a machine that doesn't sleep, doesn't need a salary, doesn't need to be paid or sick days, anything like that. You're competing with a machine. Good luck. Now, I don't want to make it sound like all doom and gloom. AI isn't going to wipe out all the jobs overnight, but it is changing what employers expect. More and more employers are requiring the people that they hire to have hybrid skills, like understanding data, using automation tools, managing AI systems, rather than doing the tasks themselves. So the pressure's on for workers, not just to compete with other people, but to compete with algorithms. And if you're somebody who hasn't had the access to tech training or digital education, that creates another barrier. Some people are adapting fast, reskilling through online courses or moving into tech adjacent roles. But for many, especially in low income areas or sectors like retail, transport, and admin, that kind of transition isn't easy or even accessible. So here it is, the bottom line. AI isn't just the future of work, it's the present. And while it can be an amazing tool, if we're not careful, it's going to deepen inequalities in the job market. Workers will need support, retraining, and real opportunities to move into new roles. Because if AI is going to take over the boring parts of our jobs, it better not take away our livelihoods entirely. AI isn't just a tech trend, it's reshaping how we work, who gets hired, and what skills are considered valuable. And let's be honest, not everyone is starting off from the same place. The people who can afford to learn new tools or take time off to reskill, they're adapting. But for everyone else, this shift feels more like a threat than an opportunity. This isn't about stopping AI, that ship has long sailed. It's about making sure that we bring people with us as the world of work changes. Because if the future is automated, it still needs to be fair. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone, but you're not powerless either. In the next part of the series, we'll be talking about remote work, what changed, what's still working, and whether it's actually a solution for the modern worker or just another broken promise. Until then, take care of yourself, keep learning, and remember the future of work isn't just about technology, it's about people.